What we're going to be going through today is how this website is making over $1,700 per month and currently being listed on Motion Invest for over $40,000. So what we're going to do is break down exactly how much traffic this site gets, exactly how much authority it has, and how you can probably do the same thing down the road. So if many of you haven't seen this before, what this website is a site called Motion Invest, where you can actually buy cheap niche websites, which are relatively cheap in the grand scheme of how far you can take these sites. So this site's been going for 7 years, and over the last 12 months they've been monetizing with Amazon Associates and Ezoic ads. So this site is showing up for over 2,800 keywords, has 177 articles published, and they're getting about 7 to 10,000 visitors per month. July and August there has been a drop in earnings, so this site May 2021 was making its most amount of money, which was over 1,200 at that point. Okay, so they're averaging the 1,700, I'd imagine, where they take an average over the period of a year or so. Okay, if you don't know and you haven't been on this channel before, what we do is SEO. So I'm gonna actually kind of break down this site to see exactly what they're doing and show you how you could do the same thing. All right, so if you're excited, let's get into it. Okay, so here we have the site, which is called bestwalkingfeet.com. So it's a bit of a funny name, isn't it? One of the things that I personally wouldn't do with a website is limit it to something so specific. Of course, that has its pros and cons, because this site was hyper focused around shoes and feet and whatever else. But if you ever wanted to expand, then it's a little bit difficult, especially for if someone's buying this site. It can be a little bit difficult for them to actually, you know, see some opportunity there as well. So let's have a look at the posts and see what they're doing here. So we've got how to clean footwear like a pro, walking for mental health, best time to walk, and then the best shoes for men. One of the things that's standing out to me that they're doing right here on this site is the fact that they're going from the top line of the buyer intent keywords. So they're not really getting too specific. Best kitchen shoes is directly a very generic kind of main term that people are going to be searching. Whereas if you were to say best kitchen shoes for and then get more specific, you'd be able to dive into those more specific terms. All right, so let's have a look and see what they're doing. So what I've got here is a tool called Ahrefs, and that just shows me what's going on here, like, you know, all these numbers and authority and whatever else. You can see that there's some low authority sites showing up for this particular term, and it gets searched over 1,000 times with a keyword difficulty of 5. So all that is doing is measuring links to these pages on the results here in the top 10, just to show you and gauge kind of how difficult it will be for you to show up. So we've got here that there's a low authority site showing up here, which is very good to see. If you see a few of those after it being a low KD, then it's usually a good sign. I mean, it doesn't look as difficult as I was thinking, but they're not, I don't believe, showing up anywhere on the first page for that. So what we're going to do here is actually put this into Ahrefs, and this is how I use the tool. Is I would come in here and then put that keyword inside, and now I'll go to matching terms. And then what I would do is set a KD of 5 maximum and then a minimum volume of 10. And that brings out a few different keywords that I would personally target. Best kitchen shoes for women. So that's very specific, but now obviously, you know, it's a lot easier for us to show up. So there's no one actually optimized specifically for this term. So I would come in and go specifically for this, because that's an opportunity, because no one's actually optimized for it. If you look at the titles, no one actually contains the word women on the first page. So that's an opportunity right there. I mean, obviously they're within the descriptions, but not within the title. So that's women's chef shoes, which is generic. It's not for the kitchen. So there's nothing specific targeting kitchen shoes for women. So that's an opportunity right there for some content. Taking a look at this site, we can see that there's a lot more buyer intent than there is informational. So there's all of these different categories with the buyer intent. We go here and this is all the information. So I would at least keep at least a 50-50 balance on the content in regards to the buyer intent against the informational content. So this could be one of the reasons of why they've started to see a drop, being that Google recently rolled out product review update as well. So they've changed the way that you can obviously build your websites essentially, or the way that you write your product reviews. So that needs to be adjusted for that. So we can see it's pretty much standard affiliate site. They're not really doing anything spectacular. They've got a domain rating of 10. But what we're going to do is drum this site into Ahrefs, and it gives me a good idea of how good these sites are. All right, so we can see all of the metrics and all of the SEO stuff behind it. All right, so what we're going to do is look at the referring domain. So that looks quite good. That's really good. And we can see that either they've been building links to their site, which helps them to rank in Google, or they've been gaining them organically organically. Now, because of the way that this site is set up, I would most definitely say that they've probably built links to the site, and we would see that if we take a look inside of their link profile. So we want to go to do follow links, because those are the only ones that pass authority over. 92 from Business Insider, so they've got a few strong links. BuzzFeed, this GMX site is a spam site, I see that all the time. An outdoor website here, okay, so they've got a few links from there. So they've got quite a few good backlinks, all right? So one of the other things I want to take a look at is the organic keywords. I want to see all the things that they're showing up number one for. All right, so if we take a look and we sort from highest to lowest, a lot of the terms that they're ranking for are informational in the earlier stages, and then we go into best walking shoes for bad knees. That's a very good opportunity here for them to make a bit more money, because you can see that it's this long tail kind of term again. They've got best shoes for knee pain, so that's pretty good, because that was like the fourth thing that I was talking about. But if we were to take something like that, we can see that they've got some level of authority around best walking shoes. So I would actually try capitalize on that and go best walking shoes, matching terms, and then set that KD to 5, minimum of 10. Okay, so these are a bunch of different opportunities that they have that they're probably not exercising currently. One of the things that I would also do is include the word for, okay? So that would help us to filter out those really easy to rank for terms in the earlier stages. There's a bunch of opportunity here for them, because they've already got authority around walking shoes, but I'd imagine they haven't targeted, like, you know, best walking shoes for shin splints. Just done a search for them on that term, and we can see best Nike shoes for shin splints. I got best walking shoes up there, but they're not, when I put shin into their organic keywords, you can see that they haven't even ever created a post around this, and they'd pretty much probably rank for it pretty much easily, because I mean, look, we've got a domain authority 6 in there, domain authority 7, and an 8 with a KD of 3. So that combination with a low authority site and no backlinks really going to this kind of SERP, that's a very good opportunity. 400 searches on average per month, and this website hasn't even written a post on that. So all of those terms are an absolute great opportunity for anyone buying this site. This site's making the money mainly off of their buyer intent posts that they've created content around, I would say, in the earlier stages of the site. So there's not much that they're really doing special, but they've obviously got it to a certain stage and they're looking to sell. Is it a good opportunity? I definitely think so. I think you can definitely go into this and expand upon what they've done. Do I think it's worth the price? Not really particularly. I mean, I personally would say this is worth about $20,000, mainly because the last 7 months or so, like, they haven't really had an increase or a positive revenue month over month. So what I would say is it's currently on a downwards trend, and we haven't really seen over $1,000 in the last 3 months. So I'd say it's an average of $700 a month in the last 6 or so months. And if we give that a 30x multiple, we're only talking about $21,000. So I don't really think that it's worth 41, but I do think it's a great opportunity for anyone who wants to do it. As you can see, not that hard to go and make an affiliate website, making just around $1,000 a month, and then exit the company for over $30,000 to $40,000. Not bad if you ask me. If you like that kind of content and you're brand new to this channel, then make sure to hit that like button if you did enjoy the video, most importantly. If you're new, subscribe, and if you have any questions about this, make sure to leave that below. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace. Got authority around walking. That's my thoughts on that website.